Hi everyone, I'm Shane Stevenson, Director of Museum Collections and Curator here at the Buffalo Naval Park. And for today's video, we are going to be honoring the one sailor who perished aboard USS The Sullivans, not just in World War II or Korea, but in her full 22 years of active duty. His name is Glenn Lee Johnson, and he was born in Fairbury, Illinois in 1925. He happened to be a plank owner of USS The Sullivans, joining right when the ship was commissioned. But unfortunately, he only survived for about three and a half months on board the ship. So if we take February 12th in our war diaries that I had just talked about in a prior video, the Sullivans were sent to the Truk Islands. Now the Truk Islands were the headquarters for Japan's Central Fleet, which was the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Fleets, and the 6th Submarine Force. And so for 1941, 42, 43, they used the Truk Islands and Atoll as their home port, with Admiral Yamamoto as the leader of that Japanese combined force, or the Japanese combined fleet. So USS Sullivans, along with their task group, gets sent to Truk for a seizure and occupation campaign. When they arrive there, they found that most of the fleet has already retreated, but there's still some pockets of resistance. February 12th was also known as the day that they searched for Glenn Lee Johnson, presumably before they steamed to the Truk Islands. He went missing the day prior, on February 11, 1944, and they spent the rest of that day and into the 12th of February searching for him, to no avail, and then they were sent on. So this story came to the Buffalo Naval Park, I believe, in about 2018. Right? Potentially prior to that time, no one here knew that there was a sailor who perished aboard the Sullivans. There was a gentleman by the name of Rob Thompson who was writing a book about the Sullivans called Weekend with George, and I think while he was scraping up research for his book, he came across this story. So he actually got access to the letter that was sent a year and a day later to the family of Glenn Lee Johnson, explaining the situation. Now I've gone back into the war diary, and for February 11th and February 12th, I did not find any official report of them doing a search for any particular sailor. I've also looked at the prior month and the previous and the month after, and there still was no word written into the action reports of the searching for Glenn Lee Johnson. So this letter might be the only piece of evidence. So I'll read it to you. Mr. and Mrs. Everett Johnson, Forest, Illinois. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, your son, Glenn Lee Johnson, Fireman 2nd Class, United States Naval Reserve, has been carried on the official records of the Navy Department in the status of missing as of 11 February 1944. While the ship he was serving, USS The Sullivans, was anchored off the Majuro Atoll, he was sent out with a trash disposal party in a motor whaleboat to the island. All members of the party went ashore with the exception of your son, who remained as boat keeper. When the party returned approximately 1 hour later, he was gone. A careful search was immediately begun and continued for several days, but with no success. In view of the length of the time that your son has been carried in the missing status without any evidence of being received that he is alive, the Secretary of the Navy has directed that his status be changed from that of missing to deceased. and that his death be presumed to have occurred on 12 February 1945. So he was on the missing status, he was as a missing status sailor for 1 year and 1 day, and then they changed that to deceased, and then the family of Glenn Lee Johnson received that letter. So fast forward a year, we're now contacted by the nephew, great-niece, and great-great-nephew of Glenn Lee Johnson, and they are asking to visit the ship. They submitted some photographs. We do have a memorial to sailors, not those who perished, but any sailor that served aboard USS The Sullivans. We have like a little memorial board, and they put up a picture. So we have that, and that will be available on the tour route to see Glenn Lee Johnson's picture, but we also have the picture in this video here too. So his family was so very moved by being on the ship, seeing some of the spaces that he lived in for about 3.5 months. And to honor him, we gave the family a flag. We raised it on the stern for a minute, and we folded it properly and gave it to the family as a keepsake and as a memorial flag for them to keep his story alive. So there's always luck of the Irish with USS The Sullivans, and you could parse it out to say that Glenn Lee Johnson did not perish aboard USS The Sullivans herself. We don't know the story. There hasn't been any fill in the gaps. We don't know if he was attacked by a shark or if he accidentally fell in. There is no evidence other than when that that garbage disposal party returned, he was nowhere to be found. So anyway, again, it's the anniversary, 12 February 2022, of him being declared deceased by the U.S. Navy, and we'd like to keep his story and all the stories of the sailors aboard USS The Sullivans and our ships alive. And again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends, leave comments, and keep checking back for more videos. Thank you very much.